Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. Last time, Mog got drunk off his ass and passed out at the port. Yes! No, actually we just made it back to Nikeah after going through the Serpent Trench to pick up his water dance. If you are playing the Super Nintendo version or the PlayStation 1 version, make sure you do that now. Because when you get to the second half of the game, you won't have access to the water dance. So rather than, doing it at the last minute or saying, oh, I'll do it later and forgetting about it, if you care about getting every dance for Mog, make sure you do it now, as soon as you get your airship, just to get it out of the way. Now the quickest way to get back to your airship is with a Chocobo. And you couldn't do this the first time you came to Nikeah because the road would have been blocked off. So there you are. Yeah, we have a little bit more screwing around to do today before we go and save the world. And to do that, we'll need an airship. So, first things first, get to your airship. Doma is straight ahead, although it's occupied by the Empire. So, you can't do a whole lot there, and it probably would not be a good idea to show our faces. Doesn't that Moogle look so cute on the Chocobo? I wonder if they got that's where they got that idea for, the Chocomog summon in Final Fantasy VII, the one where the Moogle comes in on the Chocobo and just plows into all the enemies. Anyways, make it back to Barren Falls and make sure you jump. No battles or anything, it'll just put you right on the belt. So now I will just meet you at the airship. Okay guys, we're back at our airship on the belt here. One thing I did off screen as well is I went ahead and brought Gaw into my party and gave him the running shoes. He is going to be essential for the next thing I want to show you guys, which is up here on Triangle Island. We can run into a very peculiar and rare monster, and you can only meet up with him here on Triangle Island. So hopefully I can do that relatively quickly. If not, you guys know the drill. I'll just do it off screen and come back when we have the monster ready to go, which we do not, so yeah, I'll take care of that and be right back. Okay guys, we're back. I have the monster in question, in battle, and on screen for you. This is the Intanger, or Intangier, however you would like to pronounce it. So let's take a look and see what we have. What? What's going on, game? Where is he? Just jacking with me? No. Actually, this guy always starts out the battle both asleep and with a clear status, or vanish. And I'll go over that in more detail in just a moment. But, well, first things first, let's pop him out a hide and see what we're dealing with exactly. Whoa, holy crap. Wow. I guess we know which wallet is his, the one that says badass motherfucker on it. Yeah, that's a cool enemy sprite. Okay, so now that we have him out of his invisible state, we can actually do physical damage to him. So let's go with Dispatch. Why not? Pierce his defense. Meteo. How bad could that possibly be? Oh, wow, that was very bad. Luckily it missed two of our characters. But yeah, on the other two you saw it did about 900 damage, and he immediately went right back to sleep and vanished. So, well, let me show you guys how to actually kill this guy. First of all, get everyone back on their feet. And not only does this guy absorb all elemental spells, but he'll also counterattack any damage you do with Meteo. So, the best way to, or the only way to deal with this guy really at this point, is instant death. So with Gaw, use Rhodox, and there you go. Now defeating him will give you 10 magic points. That is the most amount of magic points you can get from a single battle in the entire game, even from bosses. And you also notice you don't get any experience, making this by far the best spot to grind for spells in the first half of the game, because you don't have to worry about levels or moving around espers for stat bonuses or getting too over leveled or anything like that. You can just focus on learning spells. So if you want to teach magic to all your characters, this is the spot to do it. Now, I've already taken care of all of my spell grinding off screen, so what I'm going to do now is load up that save file and meet you back here in just a second. Alright guys, we're back. Just to go over the spells I learned with Terra really quick. By the way, all that grinding took about 30 to 45 minutes. But it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Now, Terra is one of the few characters that I actually want to teach spells to. For the purpose of this LP, I thought if I taught spells to everyone, it would kind of take away from their uniqueness and just make everyone kind of copies of each other. So the only people I'm going to be teaching, or I'm going to go out of my way to teach magic to, are Terra, Celes, and 2 other magical-based characters. So with that being said, let's take a look here. I went a little overboard, and I learned every spell that's available right now. Whoops. Like I said, it only took 30 to 45 minutes, so it wasn't that long at all. So I'm going to go over priority spells and go over these espers in a little bit more detail because, you know, we rescued them a few episodes ago, and I know I said I would go over them and I haven't, so I apologize for that. So take a few minutes to do that as well. If you don't want to take the time to grind or learn every spell for Terra right now, and you kind of want to stretch it out as you go through the game, definitely give her Seraphim first, so that you can learn Cure 2, yeah, that's real great. So yeah, get Cure 2 as soon as possible. After that, I would suggest Bismarck, just to finish up the level 1 elemental spells. They're still pretty useful, they're very cost efficient. And then, after Bismarck, go with Maduin for the level 2 elemental spells. And after that, you can pretty much do whatever you want with Terra, but I like to make her a black mage, just because she has green hair like Rydia. No. But black magic easily outclasses everything else in terms of damage, so that's why I like to focus on that first, because, well, I'm a DPS horde. So I give her Shout early on to get these black magic spells. But really, after that, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Just, you know, get your basic elemental spells, get Cure 2, you know, maybe get life so you can bring people back, you know, stuff like that. Now, as far as the espers go themselves, summoning them, generally not a good idea. They're very expensive, as you can see here from their MP costs, and the damage they do is very lackluster. Although some of them, like Seraphim, will be a group heal that could come in handy. Carbuncle will cast Reflect on your whole party, much like every other version of Carbuncle. You know, Zone C has Shell, you know, stuff like that could be useful for summoning. Phantom, as you already saw, is very, very broken in terms of summoning. Gives your whole party the Clear status, or the Vanish status, as you see here, which I'll go over that right now. By far the most broken spell in the game. There's a little trick called the Vanish Doom trick, and essentially what that means is you cast Vanish on a monster, followed by the Doom spell, which is instant death. And even if they're immune to it, it will bypass their immunity and just one-hit kill them. Doesn't matter if it's an enemy, or a boss, or what. Even bosses will die to this Vanish Doom trick. Now, I won't be taking advantage of that in this LP, but I'll show it off, just so you guys can actually, you know, see it for yourselves, or if you want to do it for yourselves, you know, feel free. You know, this is called a Let's Play. That way you can play along and, you know, play it at your style. You don't have to copy me exactly, but just figured I'd show you guys. So anyways, basically what Vanish does, or how it's coded, is that it makes you completely immune to all physical attacks, essentially giving you perfect evade. Now on the flip side, to balance that, it takes away your magic evade completely. Even if you had like max evasion and someone casts a spell on you and you're invisible, it's going to hit you, regardless. A better way of thinking of the Clear status is by thinking, if this spell is magical, then it will hit. That's a more accurate description for that as opposed to, you know, what I just said. So with that in mind, you know, let's say you're fighting a boss, you know, any boss. We'll say Intangir. No, let's do an actual boss example. Okay, let's say we're fighting Kefka in Narshe, you know, protecting Banon or the Esper, whatever. And let's say we had these spells and we enter battle. We can hit him with Vanish, and then hit him with Doom and just outright end the battle. Because the game thinks that the spell is going to land, and if it lands, that means it works. So it just completely bypasses their death immunity, and it just kills them instantly. You can already see that evident with Gau's snare ability against the Intangir. Because when he's visible and you use snare, it'll miss. Same with casting Doom, it'll miss. But when he's invisible, it's a one-hit guaranteed kill every time. So that's essentially how that works. If you don't care about that, then just ignore me. Now the other thing to keep in mind though is that even when you kill him, the Intangir that is, he's going to counterattack with Meteor. So even if he's invisible and you just cast Doom, then he's going to counter with Meteor. However, with Snare, it actually delays an enemy's counterattack by 1 turn. And in this case, they die, so they never get to that 2nd turn. Therefore, they never counterattack. Very, very, very few enemies in the game actually have that ability to where they can delay an enemy's counterattack. And you may have noticed back in the Imperial base when you're fighting those soldiers, or even the soldiers in the Narshe sequence, before they die, they'll counterattack. And a lot of enemies in this game do that. It's like their final attack, if you will. Some of them, nothing to worry about. Others, yeah, you definitely want to worry about those. But anyways, we'll get to those soon enough. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you guys here is another rare spawn. Again, if you care about your bestiary or getting rages for Gau, make sure you do this before you get to the second half of the game. Because on the original SNES and PlayStation versions, you can only run into this monster here. Now, if you're playing the later versions on the Game Boy Advance and iPhone or whatever, you can meet up with this particular monster in the Soul Shrine. I think it's called Soul Shrine. But I'm not playing those versions, so unfortunately I can't do that. So if I want to show you guys this monster, I have to do it now. And he's pretty tough. Just for reference sake, this is the Bomb Forest. As you can see here, this is what it looks like. It's right next to the belt, and just south of Barren Falls in the Phantom Forest. You can only get here with your airship. You can't get here beforehand or with a chocobo. Now, every monster in this forest is a bomb, except for one. He looks like a bomb, but he is clearly not. So, oh, that's a great game. Well, I guess I could go over Terra's morph command. Basically what it does is it turns her into her Esper form, and it doubles her magic power. So her spells will do twice as much damage, her healing spells will heal for twice as much, and her ATB gauge is replaced by a little green gauge that is actually decreasing. When that empties out, she returns back to normal. Let's put some of these to use. Let's try Bio, that looks cool. And basically what determines how long she can stay transformed is the amount of magic points that she has accumulated. So that's another reason why I wanted to use Terra in my party, you know, early on to spell grind, so she can accumulate a mass amount of ability points, so that she can stay morphed longer. It's pretty much overkill in a regular battle. Its most use comes out of a boss battle because she is a boss killer. Like, oh, you guys don't even know yet. But yeah, if you really like using Morph with Terra and you want it to last longer, just keep her in your party and get a lot of magic points, and you'll be able to stay morphed for longer. So what I'm going to do now is try to encounter this enemy, hopefully on the first try here. That would be amazing. Come on. Of course not, game. Whoa, 6 of them. Totally unprepared for 6. This is actually quite dangerous because they can all use Blaze. However, a Blizzard spell from the Bow Mammoth is enough to take them out even without earrings. Just be careful though, because Mo Mammoth is weak to fire. So, yeah, without the running shoes, there's a good chance Gog could get annihilated. Okay, so anyways, I'm just going to run into this monster off-screen and be right back. Hey, here we are, guys. This is the grenade monster. Let's take a look at this guy, huh? Let's scan him, see what's going on. Whoa, holy crap. Alright. This guy seems way out of our league. Level 17, 3000 HP. Weak to ice, weak to water. Okay, easy enough. Yeah, let's go with ice too. That should be enough to finish him off. Yeah, just like the Intangir, you're probably not meant to encounter this monster quite yet. That could be painful. Oh, that wasn't too bad. But yeah, Ice 2, definitely the way to go there. You can also morph and just one-shot him. But I don't think it's necessary. Now, the rewards for defeating that guy are nowhere near what they are with the Intangir. So, oh god, I'm just gonna run from this. Or get to Terra's turn. That works too. Yeah, even an Ice 1 spell is enough to take these guys out with all that magic boosting equipment I gave her. And it's only like 5 MP, so again, very cost efficient to learn those level 1 elemental spells. Come on, can we make it to the airship? Come on. Oh god, where is it? Oh, I saw it. Yes, okay, we're out of the forest. Oh, and 1 step away. Game? Why do you do this to me, game? So anyways, what I'm going to do now is get back on my airship, get Mog back in my party, rest up, and then go over my setup really quickly before the next episode. And then we'll finally head towards the sealed gate. See if we can't reach the Esper world and, I don't know, see what we can do about making a truce with them, striking up an alliance. I think that would be awesome, man, having the Espers on our side, tag teaming to fight against the Empire. Hell yeah. Let's do this. Okay, so let's go. Mog. Oh, why do I always do that? 7, and I want to bring Cyan. I suppose you guys already knew that, though. Okay, now for Espers, what I want to do, as far as level gains go, let's see. Magic power 35, vigor 20. Oh, his vigor is terrible. Okay, so let's see. You know what? Let's give you Madeline, so you can work on your magic power a little bit. Sabin, you're going to get Stray, also to work on your magic power. Terra, you get Zone Seek to work on your magic power. And Cyan, you will get Bismarck to work on your strength. Now the reason I'm doing that is because all of Cyan's sword techniques base their damage off of his strength or vigor, with the exception of 2, I believe. So I'll work on his magic power later. Although, even bumping up his magic power, it's not nearly as effective as his physical attacks, or his vigor is. So, primarily focus on bumping up your vigor with Cyan. Terra should be obvious for the magic. Sabin, I also want to boost up his magic stat because of Aura Bolt, Fire Dance, and another Blitz. And his magic power is really low, could really use some work. His strength is already pretty high. And we'll have plenty of time to bump that up later. Mog also uses both strength and magic. Magic for dances, strength for jumping, and physical attacking. But for right now, I want to work on his magic. So there we are. That's the setup I want to use. Oh, put Cyan in the front row, by the way. And I'll go over that in more detail next time. But for now, we got everyone set up, ready to go. We got some spells under our belts. We got some rare monsters defeated, so yeah, I suppose if we have to, let's go save the world next time. But until then, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you